Hey there, this is Clay, and today we're continuing on day number 2 of our video series on the most common mistakes that people make when trying to get their ex back and what you can be doing instead. So mistake number 2 is actually something that is pretty common for a lot of people too, and this is really just writing a long, heartfelt love letter to your ex about how much you love them, how sorry you are, how important they are to you in your life. And this is really a mistake for a couple reasons. The first of which being that that's not really where your ex is at right now. They're not in an emotional place where they're really receptive to something like that. They may have left you because they felt taken for granted. They may have left you for reasons like maybe you didn't say that you loved them enough, and so maybe you're thinking, okay, well, I just need to really express how I love to them and that'll fix it. But it's a little bit counterintuitive because that's not exactly what's going to fix the problem. And the reason for that is because they've already made a choice to leave the relationship. And what it's going to take to get them to reconsider that choice is more than just kind of trying to make up for that by saying, I love you, you're really important to me, and going on for pages and pages about, really poetic things and how you feel and all that. Because there's a certain thing called the social law of consistency, where if someone takes a small action in one direction, they feel compelled to stick with the sort of momentum that that action has. And, obviously your ex has just broken up with you, so they feel compelled to stick with that decision. And it's going to take a little bit more than just writing a heartfelt letter to really reverse that decision. And of course, there's all those reasons of the feelings of guilt and everything that we talked about last time. Obviously they feel guilty for hurting you, for dumping you and all that, and writing a long letter to them is just going to agitate that feeling of guilt. So again, what are you supposed to do here? What should you be doing instead? First of all, when you do write to your ex, if you do write to your ex, we will talk about this more later perhaps, but when you do it, you don't want to make it this big emotional outpouring that goes on for pages and pages and pages. Don't worry, I've made this mistake too myself, but you don't want to do this because it's going to, it seems like a lot to take in all at once. When you do contact your ex, you want it to be very short, very concise, because they're obviously carrying around these feelings of guilt from the breakup, and when they get this letter or email or something that just goes on for paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs, before they even start reading it, they're thinking, oh no, I'm going to feel so bad after reading this. This is just going to make me feel so bad. I'm going to feel guilty. I'm going to, not feel good after reading this. It's going to make me cry. All that stuff. And a lot of times people's exes don't even read those letters. Again, those feelings of guilt just prevent them from even reading the letter or even opening the email. And what you want to do when you contact them is make the conversation start small. All you want to do is just get that first little commitment. Again, we have that law of commitment where if someone takes a small step in one direction, they feel more compelled to do that. And if you're going to try and reverse somebody's decision to leave you, to break up with you, you have to start with a small little step. And oftentimes that's just a tiny little email that just gets them to start the conversation with you. Again, this is something we will directly teach you how to do inside of our course, the Exsolution Program. We'll give you templates based on our most successful case studies that really help you reach out to your ex and get that conversation started. And most of these, a lot of people are surprised to find out, are extremely short, but they've been tested and they've been proven over time. So there's probably a very high chance that they'll work in your situation. And another thing, you want to start small. Again, like building off of what I just said, you want to start small with a small little kind of pebble that you like toss at their window, so to speak, to get Juliet to open up the windows of her quarters so she can be receptive to you talking to her from the bushes or what have you. And what you want to do then is, after you engage with him, that's when you can start to have more of the deep, heartfelt things. But again, you want to ratchet this up slowly. You don't want to sort of have them swept away with a tidal wave of emotions or anything like that. Even if your ex left you because you were emotionally shut down, you didn't express your love or whatever, this is absolutely the way that you want to go. Trust me, that's why my ex left me many years ago, was because I was just very emotionally blocked. I was very emotionally unavailable. And, I tried the whole letter thing and it didn't work. And what did work was the approach that I just recommended, and the approach that we would like to teach you inside the Exsolution Program course. Again, like I told you yesterday, we will teach you how to reach out to your ex with the templates, and we also will teach you the relational skills, the advanced relational skills that will help you have a deep emotional impact with your ex, so that as the two of you are communicating back and forth, you can get that positive feeling that will help bring the two of you together, that will help get past all those negative feelings and sort of slowly help sort of get tiptoe around their defenses, so you don't have to worry about that feeling of guilt. And again, if that's something that you would like to learn more about, all you have to do is click on the button down below. That'll take you to a page that will tell you about the Exsolution Program. You can read about that, and if that feels like it would be a good fit for you, if it seems like something that would help you in your situation, I want you to go ahead and sign up for it. Our whole team will be there to help you. We have the support community that will be there to help you as well. You're not going to have to do this alone. If you want us to look over a draft or something of a letter that you want to send your ex, we'd be happy to do that. But for the most part, we'd recommend that you start with the templates that we give you. And again, all you have to do is just sign up and you can get started today. But the most important thing I want you to take away from this video is that, writing a tear-stained letter where you pour your whole heart out and tell them about how you love them and how, their face moves your world and shatters your conceptions of reality and all those poetic things like that. I want you to understand that that's not going to really make your case, even though it may be a little bit counterintuitive, even though that may feel like the thing that you need to do to have that big impact. It's actually going to hurt you if you try that. So don't do that. That's my professional recommendation as somebody who helps people with their relationships for a living. Don't do that, and instead, start with something smaller. If you'd like to learn specifically what we recommend, go ahead and try out the Exsolution Program. Again, you can find out more about that down below, and if that seems like a good fit for you, go ahead and sign up today. This has been Clay, and tomorrow we'll talk about mistake number 3 that people make when trying to get back together with their ex. Thanks.